Just waiting on Twitch. Alright, so day 30. Today's going to be an open-ended research session. That's what I'm calling it. I don't have anything specific that I want to get done with coding today or anything, but I want to do some research on how I'm going to handle something. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Come into the Futur. And this new courses page that I'm working on. Now if I come into courses, this is the LMS course list right here. And if you're familiar with PHP, basically it's looping the PHP. So when you come up here to new and you create a new course, it's going to automatically be looped into this, and all the images, titles, metadata, stuff like that is all tied to it. Now on this page right here, this is all hard-coded at the moment. And so I like to hard-code it first and then start bringing it into the loop from there. I found that's easier in the process, but the problem is, and I've actually noticed this on the course page as well, it's actually on the My Courses page right here, you get the progress bar. And I don't think that's a 100% necessary feature for us to have on day one to start beta testing this, but I definitely do want that, and I want to start looking into how I'm gonna do that. Is it easier to work within the loop or to try and code it custom myself? I'm not very good at doing PHP stuff, so I would usually like to start with some existing template and work from there. So I really like that. That's what we're going for. I want to add some type of progress bar. I mean, ideally I'd like to do a progress wheel, but I'd have to figure out where it pulls that data from, and that's going to be a little more complex. So that's something we can do after we've kind of rolled out and started to beta test. Sometimes quicker. There's a couple ideas that I have on how we could do it quicker. So here's what I have. Potentially using a different LMS. I've stuck to Sensei. There's a lot of things I like about it. WordPress owns it. WooCommerce, it's directly built into that, and I haven't actually built WooCommerce into this project yet, but I will down the road, so that's very forward thinking. It's really simple. It's not too much. Some of these LMSs are kind of bloated, I would think, in the sense that I don't need all the features, and they might have pre-existing designs that I want to modify, and then I'd just have to clean up and get rid of their code. Sensei has a little bit of that, but it's pretty lightweight. And I guess one thing I don't like about it is I don't think they really have a good support, which means that it's going to be difficult for me to learn how to do all the actions, hooks, and filters and stuff like that, because I'm not super knowledgeable in my fundamentals of PHP. So that's one option. I like to just be open to that. The other option would be just doing it all in SCSS, which is really leaning towards would probably be the best option if it's possible. Basically, we work within the existing template structure that they've given us, And there's a lot of really cool things within like Flexbox, for example, which is a new CSS feature that we can use. Flexbox, we could rearrange even the order of, like, say we wanted the thumbnail at the top, we could probably do that. And if we wanted to stack them up side by side instead of vertically, we could probably do that as well. All just within SCSS without having to touch any PHP or Another way to do it would be basically how you can do WooCommerce if you want. I'll pull up some code real quick to show you. So if you're not familiar with WooCommerce, it's the most popular e-commerce platform for WordPress. WordPress owns it, so it's kind of the most highly adopted, supported one. Okay, so if I were to assume that Sensei works the same way that WooCommerce does, basically what you could do is come into your theme right here. You could come into, sorry, not theme, you come into the plugin, you come into the Sensei LMS plugin, and templates. Under these templates, this is the PHP structure of how those loops are ordered and stuff like that. So if we came into like single course, for example, we can see it's getting a header, it's pulling in an article, a course post. We have some hooks in here that I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. Single course content inside before, do action, entry fix, the post to content. So I'm not sure if this is exactly where, I'd have to come in and start playing around with things to see if that's exactly where the template structure comes for that courses page. But just assuming this works the same way as WooCommerce, one way of doing it is to basically take these files, duplicate them, and then you put them in your base theme template directory. You probably put it right within here, within the other templates. And it overwrites the one from the plugin, and then you can start making crazy customizations without actually altering the plugin itself, which is something you'd never really want to do unless it was your own plugin. And that's the way I've done WooCommerce in the past. Into app, filters, helpers, probably mostly in filters. You'd probably want to do most of it within here, or set up your own PHP functional file to basically plug into all those actions and hooks. But like I've said, I'm not great at that, so we'll try out a couple different routes of doing that. So that's another thing we can play around with, and the last option would be actually like going into my fundamentals of PHP and getting a lot better at these hooks and loops. But that would take a few days, maybe a week to be confident in that, I think. So we're gonna go with these shorter ones. We're gonna start hacking around and try and figure out how to do this. Alright, so we've got the local version pulled up now, and now we're just going to start hacking away at it. It's kind of like taking an electronic device and pulling it apart and seeing if you can mess with something and put it back together. So let's try the easy route first. We're going to try doing this with CSS. Or first I'm going to come into Sensei settings, and I had customized some of these earlier. I'm going to see what it looks like by default. Okay, that was just to give it the correct resolution, I guess. Interesting, so it's actually cropping it. Okay. Let's see, what did I have that set to? I'll have to go check on another environment. I forgot, I think it was 270. No, it was 870. 256. Okay, so that does crop them. The question is, we might actually want them to be square. Let's take a look at this. So these ones are rectangular, and then these ones are square. So it can really work either way. think they look a little better rectangular maybe. Alright, so let's remove this. No, let's keep it rectangular for now. We can switch it back and forth if we need. But what we really need to start messing with is trying to get this stuff to reverse itself by Flexboxing it. So under section, okay, so if we say flex column C H3 course author, do the same thing here. Flex column C. Okay, now it's vertical. Now we're gonna pull up Bootstrap. Okay, they have flex row reverse. We could try that. I'm not quite sure what that'll do. Nice. Okay, that's close. This is more what we're looking for. Flex column reverse. Okay, so this is where the SCSS comes in handy, because if we wanted to adjust these classes tied to these pieces of HTML, they're being generated through this PHP, so you'd have to go through, digging through these PHP files and find exactly where those courses or those classes are being inserted. But the cool thing is with SCSS, by using an extend, you can just attach it to that other class. So that's what I do with Gravity Forms. So I'll do this as well with Sensei. Check this out. So no, I think we actually want flex column reverse. So they're all within this section. Okay, so we don't need anything up here, I don't think. Maybe flex column? No, nothing there. It's all under entry. That's the class. Okay, this is going to be a little bit complicated, because if I do flex column reverse, it reverses all of them, so it actually puts the title at the bottom. And I don't want the title all the way at the bottom. I want it below the image, so really I just want the image at the top. So let's see if we can find anything to do that. Order. I think this is what we're looking for. Okay, let's try this. So we'll take this reverse off for now. And then this will be order 2. This will be order 3. This will be order 4. I don't have a class tied to this at the moment, so how can I grab it? Oh, actually I don't need it, because all the other ones have an order. This one assumes it's order 1, I guess, so that's cool. Okay, so we're going to start adding this to our CSS. Course page, lesson page, single course. Okay, we're looking for course and then single course. I need to clean all this code up a bit down the road. We've got course content. Do we have one of those on here? No. Do we have an entry on here? Single lesson. And another lesson. Course page. Thumbnail. There's one within a lesson. I don't think there's any lessons on this page. Course title, course content, course container. Let's look for that maybe. Okay. Course container. Okay. Course excerpt. We got rid of that. So it's just course content. Entry. We'll go entry, then we're gonna add extend flex column C. Extend order 2. Course author. Order 3. Order 4. And that should do it. Refresh it just to clear any dev code I added. Voila. And that is the way you do things if you're not good at PHP, but you know some good CSS. That's awesome. I really like that. Okay, so now we're gonna keep hacking away at it. For now, I want to get rid of this sidebar. Courses overview. This is probably using the default app template. Okay, we'll keep it for now, just to save time. So now on a bigger level, how can we do some type of like side-by-side grid, right? So we have course container, columns 1. One loop item, one loop item. So this is where we go. Do we want flex, or do we want to just say row, then column small, then alright, so right on course container, I have to make sure this only happens on this page though, because Sensei's classes are kind of weird. Sometimes they're on multiple pages, which is why my code is so messy, because I haven't really figured it all out yet. Alright, so this is course container. Extend row. And then loop item. What do we want to target this with? User status active. Change post. Could do a post probably, but I don't want that to be repeated anywhere. Loop item number. I think course or post is the only good way to do it. So let's try course. Extend. That should apply to both. All right. What did I do now? Sensei course. To come before selector, Sensei course container course. Sensei course. Man, this code is so messy. I'll just have to spend another day next week just trying to clean this all up. $176.3. I don't know, maybe it just wants this at the bottom. Well, then I've got course right down here. That's just for the course page, so that's why it gets confused. So if there's another way I can target it, that would probably be better. Let's try type course. Single course, type course to come before. There's another type course? What? Single course. Okay. Here's what needs to happen. Sensei needs to be broken out into different partials. I'm going to do this accordingly. So we'll say course page, forms, course page, lesson page, course page, courses page, quiz, global, my courses, global. Wow, this is a mess. Okay. Let's start by grabbing my courses. Okay. Then let's grab let's make one called global. Okay, I'm gonna unspecify these a little bit by taking them out of this Sensei. We'll see if that breaks anything. If not, then we'll just keep it the way it is. I'll just put the quiz at the bottom of global for now. So this is courses, and then we have course page. Here we have lessons. Course page. Forms, we'll put that under global for now as well. No, we'll just do our own actually. because I'm sure that'll get bigger as we go, like a lot bigger. All right, so we're importing courses, course, forms, global, lessons, and my courses. Alright, so let me explain what I'm doing real quick. So, if today's point was to do research, I've accomplished what I've wanted. I was able to come to the conclusion that I'm not going to have to learn to do all the hooks and loop stuffs right now. I can do most of it through the SCSS using Flexbox. That way I can reorder, restructure, and reformat the pages without having to touch the PHP, which is probably the best way of doing it, as long as the only thing I can think of that I might not like about it is I think as the style sheet loads in to do Flexbox, it's going to flip the order of some of the things. So it's going to load in, and then you might see a split second where the order of some things flip once it fully loads in. I might test that out. I'm not sure that it would behave that same way on the local environment, so I'd probably have to test that on a staging server. Because it kind of always does that on the local version. So one thing I might deploy and test that real quick before we're done with today's session. But right now I'm kind of jumping ahead, and I'm seeing if I can find where that progress bar is located in the PHP templates, because for some reason it shows up on the My Courses page, but it doesn't show up on the loop for under courses. And so like maybe in here I could find the My Courses loop and compare it and kind of see the difference. But like I said, this progress bar is not something that I think I should dwell on too much or even let it prevent me from moving forward for a day, because if I were to bring on somebody that could help, I think they could help me solve this in a matter of minutes. So I'm gonna not give into that temptation to just start ripping this apart yet, even though that'll be fun down the road when we need it. But I think the SCSS is pretty much gonna do everything we need besides that progress bar at the moment. And this is way better, because the alternative, and I still might do a combination of this, but the alternative would be to use ACF, which is advanced custom, a custom field on each one, or we could do custom metadata, like progress bars or anything you wanted. And I might end up doing some of that later, but this is the easiest, simplest, fastest, and probably best practice order of things would really bug me. So let's actually do a quick deployment to the staging server and see how it looks. Let's go take a look at our staging script. We're gonna register our SSH keys, deploy to staging, activate our plugins, update Gravity Forms, and then I don't think we need a database migration yet to see these changes, so is there anything in the database? Yeah, there is actually. I changed the resolution of those images, so this will be fine. Development, staging. So I'm just going to run staging.sh. What was that? Is Composer giving me issues again? Style lint error. Interesting. Okay. Let's come into the theme. Yep, gives us no clue what the error is though. Let's see, can I run this in verbose? Maybe it's a double hyphen, can't remember. What? Done, my ass. There we go. Nothing. It's so weird. Okay, so using the skills that we learned on last week's video on how to optimize slow CSS, we're going to use pretty much the exact same strategy. So I'm going to come in here. See if it's coming from this new stuff we did. Yeah, I think so. So it's coming from either global courses or my courses. Alright, that's definitely working, so now we'll try it again with global in there. Okay, still working. Okay, so it's in courses. Oh, I'm bringing courses in twice. That's probably what it is. That's why I do things in alphabetical order, and it's easier to spot an issue or something. Okay, that's working now. So let me just recommit. Okay. Let's go see how that worked out. Ooh, Cool. Okay, it didn't flip. That's perfect. That's one thing I was afraid of. So I am calling this a major success. This is exactly what we wanted. We can customize this more later, but today was just for research purposes. I wanted to find out if it was viable to just do all of this in CSS. So it seems like it is by using SCSS. Makes it way easy. Okay, well, probably won't be doing any streams over the weekend. Maybe I'll do like a VR stream or something for fun. But yeah, next week I'll be hitting this hard, getting these courses pages all finalized in design, and this is really starting to come close to being ready for beta rollout. So, have a good weekend.